Welcome to Make It Submerged, an Australian Survivor podcast. I'm Kirsty.
I'm Sophie.
And I'm Will.
Hey, well, it's Merge Week on Australian Survivor, and we are so excited to talk all things Merge. But before we get started, hit pause and subscribe to the pod so you can join us every week as we discuss the move makers, tribe shakers, bamboozling blindsides, and lots more. All right, let's get it on. Merge Week. Let's go. Okay, so kicking off then with episode 1 of the week. Merge. We made it.
We made it.
The contestants.
We've all made it together.
The podcast, the contestants.
I think we can agree we've been through just as much as the contestants have.
If not more, I would
If not
say.
more, yeah.
Absolutely.
Been a real trial.
They think they get back late from tribals. What about Will? Up until 3 a.m. editing this.
This is my life.
So we get the big merge reveal then. The contestants know it's coming. There's lots of very pointed questions from JLP. He doesn't even really try to hide it, does he? There's not much suspense.
No.
We're just straight into it.
Clearly a giant box of buffs next to him.
Show us the buffs, JLP. On that, what are we thinking? Merge buff.
Always love the merge buff.
Yeah. It's black, very classy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of a black merge buff.
Yeah. I think people think it's overdone, but it's overdone because it looks so cool.
But they've kind of gone for like the black with then the red and the blue interweaved in it.
Yes.
A nice touch, I thought.
I think they're nice.
Yeah. They
Really want to get my hands on one, not going to lie.
They look sick. Yeah. I would take bloody any buff though. You know, if someone's got an old one lying around from season 3, I'd take that.
I mean, I want a Vavau one. Big time.
I bet the season 3 buffs are worth a lot now.
Probably are.
Yeah.
Probably got more of a chance of getting one from this season.
Well, I love this whole like merge build up that we've got now. There's a lot of excitement in the air. Then we're on to the credits. I just wanted to raise this. They've now removed everyone from the credits that did not make it to merge, which I feel like is just rubbing salt in the wound at this point.
We've got a merge makers only opening.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I didn't notice until you told me because I sat there typing up my notes during the credits.
It's the best part.
I know. But yeah, why? I love seeing all the people that have been cut.
Yeah.
I'll be on board though if we get like a wee jury section added in. But I don't think we're going to get that.
Yeah, it's hard to say. The only saving grace is that, you know how they've like interspliced the big bus on the intro credit? Yes. We have still got Kent hanging out the bus window, jeering at the Brawn tribe.
Yeah. So they should keep that in. He gave himself an injury during that cheering, didn't he?
Yeah, hurt his back.
He did.
Just for the quality content.
I think they should put that at the start of every season, even if he's got it.
Thank you for your sacrifice, Kent.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we move on then to the reward challenge, and it's a classic Survivor endurance rope hang situation.
Very simple. They're literally just hanging upside down from a rope.
I quite liked how they added the element how when one person gets off, like the rope goes through them all.
The rope.
Yeah, so it throws people off when they get off.
Yeah, it makes it a bit more interesting, but it didn't really seem to have much impact. I think maybe they were hoping people were going to try and purposely disrupt others when coming off it. Like, oh no, I fell off and was shaking.
Yeah.
Causing mayhem.
I would say that would be a really stupid move because, you know, it's just going to make everyone hate you. But I don't think that's
people who are likely to win immunity. Yeah.
I don't know if that's an issue on this season. There's a lot of stupid moves that make people hate you. So
True. But then there's a lot of people that want to go to the cocktail party. And you are very likely going to revoke your invite if you start.
Oh, yeah.
100%, yeah.
You hadn't even thought of that side of it. Yeah. So PD's sitting out, which is going to be a recurring theme over the next few episodes.
No. I wish they could have just let him go on it kind of like, I don't know, like face down.
Couldn't he have hung from just with his legs?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like, I know you've ripped your bicep or something.
Oh, I do feel bad for him.
Obviously, yeah, it sucks. It's sort of, he can't really participate at all in any of the challenges, realistically.
Yeah.
But he can participate in the scramble, I guess.
True.
So this is kind of the first time some people have really got chatting to each other from the opposite tribes, or the first time they're seeing each other in a while. So while the challenge is going on, we get like a few people catching up. So we've got Karen telling Laura this narrative about Polly being the snake oil salesman again.
Snake oil salesman.
I don't know why it keeps getting brought up. And then we see AJ and Kate just having a casual wee chat. I mean, like they haven't really interacted much at all up to this point, and they're just having, like a casual chat. Like, it's kind of like, if you're in the hairdressers, and you're like, oh, so what do you do? Oh, I'm a DJ. What do you do? Oh, I am a poker player.
Yeah, it was very weird sort of vibe between them, I think. Like AJ was kind of like, at one point he was like, I really love your eyes.
Yeah, he's on the charm offensive.
He is on the charm offensive. And it's worked, to be fair. I think that's a blossoming friendship / alliance there.
Bloody works.
Yeah, I really liked how, like, when he was chatting to Kate when she was on the rope, I think it was Karen, but I might be wrong. It was someone that is against AJ currently, was just saying, oh, here AJ goes again, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but then we get a confessional from Kate, I think, or we just know that Kate is actually quite enjoying the AJ chat.
Yeah, well, AJ says, doesn't he? Oh, let me know if you want me to shut up. And she's like, no, I'm actually quite enjoying this. It's really helping.
Yeah, I think fair play to him as well that he doesn't go straight in with the strat chat. We made this mistake before, but he is keeping it very casual, just like saying hi. And I found it so funny. Everyone was just like sat there watching them.
Yeah, rolling their eyes.
Rolling their eyes.
Yeah, I like how they have to kind of stay by their fallen rope in these sorts of challenges. Like they don't congregate, do they? They just sit down where they've fallen off.
Yeah, so it's kind of luck of the draw. If people want to try and like chat to each other, it depends like where you've drawn.
Yeah.
I forget they draw for spots, don't they?
We never see it. This came into my mind actually. Do you think like on any season of Survivor ever, you have seen the draw because something funny happens? There must be, you'd think.
I can't recall.
Not an Australian Survivor, but you think with like 47 seasons of an American one.
I wonder how is it rocks?
Is it rocks? Oh my God, infamous rocks, finally.
Well, the areas are always coloured, aren't they? From what I remember.
Yeah,
so you draw a coloured rock and that's where you end up. I don't know, maybe.
It probably is rocks.
Oh my God.
Coloured rocks.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
JLP never gets to use his rocks any other time, so drawing spots at the challenges.
Exactly,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did go to rocks and how giddy he would be? Like probably producing this like pouch of rocks from his pocket.
Yeah, they're all like gemstones.
Yeah.
Like.
Maybe they come in like, like a locked briefcase kind of for like special occasions.
Opens it up and light beams out.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say maybe each one comes in like a wee, like a display case.
Every single rock has its own case.
I know, like a ring box. And then you have to like open them and it's like, ooh, what rock have I got?
Yeah. Oh my God. Almost like, do you remember that show, Golden Balls? From
Yes. And that's exactly what by the reveal when they all open it. Oh my God.
Oh, that would be amazing. We need to see that.
Do you know what? It's probably just going to be this like black pouch, bunch of grey rocks. One's got like an X on it. Or
God's sake. I want it to be like a full like procedure, like the lottery where they need like an adjudicator.
Someone with white gloves on.
Oh my God. Like an external referee coming in.
So like the right coloured rocks are going in. There's been no tampering with the bag.
Are you picturing a Jono with that, that lotto crank?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The crank.
A vending machine, we're gonna have to, this is homework. This is homework for next week. We're gonna look up what rocks looks like in other iterations.
Oh, so back to the challenge. We get a whole nother side to JLP.
He's so giddy in these challenge. In this whole season, he's just so giddy. He's just so up for the crack, and I just love it.
Flying high. We get some negotiation between Logan and Zara. So at this point, let's say Logan, Zara, and Kate are the only ones left in.
Yeah.
Logan and Zara have had enough.
Yeah.
And they want to strike a deal with Kate. But because of the way that the places have been drawn, she's further away. She can't hear them. We get JLP coming in.
Out of nowhere.
Like me to deliver a message? We were like, yes, please. Negotiator JLP. So he takes the message from Zara, gets him to agree the terms.
Yes.
What are the terms?
Yeah, he needs to get quiet.
Brokers a deal.
When they say what it is back, he goes, copy. And then I was like, yes, this is amazing.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Off he trips to see Kate, and he's like, hi, Kate, just delivering a message. She's probably like, what the message? Like, what, from the producers?
Yeah. But she's very on board with this plan, which I would be as well if I was in her situation. Like, super painful hanging up on that rope. I'd want it to be over and done with. So off back. And delivers the good news. He kind of like draws it out a little bit as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Builds that suspense. They're like, what did she say? The deal is done. She has accepted the terms. So Kate wins.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be silly not to accept the deal, really.
Definitely.
The deal is you win immunity.
You'd be nuts.
Yeah.
You just invite two people who you could potentially build an alliance with day one of merge.
Yeah, exactly, because they weren't on the same apart from Zara briefly, but they weren't really on the same tribe, so it was good alliance potential.
Yeah.
I just thought why JLP was probably so keen to be delivering these messages along with the like novelty element. He's probably, let's get this wrapped up.
Yeah. Got to go to the Survivor pub.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Kate looks like she's in it for the long haul. I want this over and done with.
I'll deliver a message.
Yeah. And then we get the classic JLP where someone chooses who they're going to take to the challenge. And then he's like, go on, I'm feeling generous. Take one more.
One more.
Sometimes he does it.
It didn't stop. He kept going. 7 of them were at this cocktail party.
That's got to be like a 50-50 split, basically, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was
close enough. I mean, I think there were actually more left on the beach. I say left on the beach. They had them next to each other. But
Literally.
I think,
I believe that when they could see the cocktail party happening.
I mean, rub it in. Why don't you?
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think
Gotta be done.
It's fun, yeah.
And it looked like a super fun cocktail party. We get Paulie invited to the party, which I was pleased to see. He's got a chance now to make some new alliances. We've got AJ schmoozing Central. Who else was there? Myles, I think, Karen.
Kristen was there. I don't think Karen was there. So Kate picks Morgan, Polly, AJ, Kristen.
Oh, and then Logan and Zara.
And Logan and Zara. And what do you think of her choices then? So it's a kind of a mix. Well, she kind of tells us that she's done this as a mix of the OG Brawns and also people she wants to get to know better.
I really liked her explanation. I was like, yeah, smart choices. Obviously, she's taken Morgan, best pal cocktail party.
Yeah.
Hello. That's amazing. And then, a really good mix of people that she wants to get to know or build on current relationships that she has. So, I was here for the choices.
Bringing AJ, that relationship building instantly paying off. And I think it's just good to see a bit more of Kate and potentially some strategy coming from her because she's been left out of a lot of the edit so far. So, excited to see that.
Same.
Like, the more I see of Kate, the more I love her.
I love her. I think she's so fun. She's also here to play the game. She's not just like, going along with big alliances. She's like, no, we're making moves. She just seems super fun. And the dance routines.
The dance
Oh,
routines.
yeah, of course.
Love
The
it.
Panther.
Yeah.
So we get a new tribe name.
The new tribe name. Yes. I always forget we get the merge name, Malosi.
Yeah.
And what I want to know is, isn't it convenient, right, that someone always knows, like, this is the Samoan for stronger together as one? It's like, what?
I'll eat my buff if that hasn't been fed to them by a producer right before.
I mean,
So they probably told Jesse first, and he goes back, and then he's like, "Oh, can't remember it."
oh yeah.
Right, we'll call PD aside and tell it to him and
What
see if
was
he
the
can.
tribe?
PD's moment to shine.
Yeah.
It was such a lol as well, how like Laura just trotted back from somewhere and they were like, Laura, new tribe name's this.
Yeah.
Like, good job she didn't want an input. But then again, I guess pre-decided probably. My wonder if the producers were feeding Andy with that one that he did where he made up like that was all Andy.
I think that was all him. So yeah, like obviously it's now merged and we have a lot of merge dynamics going on. It's, you know,
My head's fried again.
yeah, hard to kind of keep track of them all, really. So
What's the lowdown?
a few things I noticed then was Kate was getting a lot of intel from people. So she was getting updates from Kristen about Polly allegedly throwing Noonan under the bus. And then she's also getting updates from Logan about this girls' alliance. Like Logan wants to invite her into this girls' alliance.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I guess that will be like the Girls Gone Wild part 2.
Yeah, girls gone wilder.
Yeah.
And then another kind of common thread running through was the AJ hatred. So, like, a lot of people are worried about AJ schmoozing.
I mean, yeah. They know, I think, he's one to watch and he's working the room with the new merge tribe.
And Logan is very set on him being gone. She's basically, she wants like a signed contract from people, basically. That a signed scroll that when she gives the nod, they will all vote AJ because she's so fed up of being dictated to and people like never listening to her.
And as we heard the episode before, she's ready to burn him to the ground.
One thing I just really loved was when Jesse was saying that kind of all he really knew of AJ was the whole hostages thing. Because I guess you kind of forget sometimes as a viewer at home that the contestants, you know, obviously they're not seeing everything we're seeing. So they've got such a like limited view of AJ.
Just a real snapshot. And I guess for like most people, what they see on the mat is people like, yeah, JLP, we're going to win the challenge today, blah, blah, blah. Last night's tribal was interesting. And then AJ is just like all guns blazing, hostage. Yeah, so you don't know anything else.
Throwing a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean... And obviously, if you could see, like the rest of the times, you would see that AJ is very predictable, very calm, good with communication. We also have some dynamics then between the OG brains. So we've got Zara, Laura, Logan. Zara and Laura have this little catch up about the advantage deal.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually. What do they say to each other?
I mean, I think Zara kind of tries to explain it and was trying to say she wasn't threatening her to use it and that she can't remember.
It's kind of interesting that they're almost, well, we find out later that they're not, but in this episode, they're back in an alliance, which feels very odd after everything that went down between Laura, Zara and the Screw.
Yeah, because then like a scene later, we've got Logan saying, well, we know that Zara's not nice, so we want to get her out. She's on the hit list.
Yeah.
And then my favourite dynamic that we saw was the reunion of AJ and Myles. They're pretty convinced that between the pair of them, they've got all the intel on the beach.
AJ says, if you think you've gathered all the information, I already know it. I know it all.
He was filled with iconic lines this episode. He was also saying, oh, despite me taking hostages and throwing challenges, no one seems to want me out.
Oh, AJ.
And AJ makes us a promise that there's going to be chaos from him and Myles.
I mean, could you hope for anything more?
And it was not an empty promise.
It was not. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the dynamics that we've got, especially like you said, Myles and AJ coming back together, Chaos Merchants reunited. Can't wait.
Reunited and it
Feels so good. So off to the immunity challenge then. Again, we've got PD sitting out. He can't take part in this one.
And what do we see at the immunity challenge?
It's the necklace. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like
love
that.
it. What,
They say necklace, don't
and
they?
what did you think of the necklace?
Here for it.
Skull.
Yeah.
Skull theme. I
With
just
the
love,
teeth on there as well. Awesome. Yeah.
I just love when they have a coherent
Same.
theme between it all. So you've got like the immunity idols with the skull, and you've got the
The individual necklace.
yeah.
Yeah, when it all runs through
What's the
together.
third one? Like what's that called? The immunity.
What is that
immunity?
called?
You've got the immunity.
Tribal immunity idol.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know, but that's what it feels like it's called. That's what it is.
It was Scully too.
It was.
Scully too,
It was, yeah. And then there's also a thread that runs through the colour scheme with the urn this season as well. It all complements each other.
And a snuffer. It's Scully.
The snuffer, yeah. Oh, it's very Scully. Top tier snuffer this season, like you said. So,
JLP makes a point of telling us that it's a new challenge.
maybe he's come up with it himself, so he's very proud to introduce it.
God, I feel bad now saying that it was pretty dull, wasn't it?
It wasn't my favourite.
Fine.
So we've obviously, it's like a kind of balancing skateboard-esque, and then you've got to keep a ball balanced. Yeah. The one thing I do like about this sort of challenge is that you get this line from JLP where he's like, Kristen's on the run. And then the ball's like dropping off the side. I quite enjoyed that. And we had a lot of ball related, what's the word?
Puns.
Yeah. Double entendre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had, what did he say to Kaylin? Oh, Kaylin's got major separation with his balls.
Yeah, Kaylin's not even looking at his balls.
Yeah, I mean, Logan wins this then. So yeah, she's won the first individual immunity.
Yeah. Thought it would be Jesse for the skateboarding, but yeah, he lost it right at the end. And then we're back to the beach for the scramble.
The first merge scramble.
It's heightened.
Scrambled merge.
Yeah, it's always a big one, the first merge vote. People need to know where their alliances stand. People aren't too sure where alliances that they've not been living with stand. So lots to kind of get to the bottom to for the castaways.
There's a few names that just kind of come up again and again with everyone, and those are Polly, Zara, and Jessie.
Yeah. Again, I still don't understand why everyone's going for Paulie. I don't get it.
No.
We get a great line from Jesse when he's talking about Zara, and he says, I don't trust her for a bar of soap. Have you heard that expression before?
No.
I haven't either. What does it mean, though?
What does it mean?
I don't trust her for a bar of soap. And then another one that he said, and this was in a couple of episodes ago, was like, Laura's, sus as a donkey. I mean, love it.
Yeah.
So many catchphrases. We also get, AJ and PD chatting. AJ, for the who knows how many times now, says that he's a vault.
I can't do it without doing like the hand.
Yeah.
It needs the hand gesture. Yeah.
This is a vault.
This is a vault.
So who's AJ going for in this vote? He's wanting out
Polly, and he's concerned there's not enough votes on Polly.
Yes. Meanwhile, we've got Kate, who wants to pick up the Girls Gone Wild alliance move and get out Jessie.
Yes.
And actually, we get this scene because Kate and AJ are talking, and this is actually where you get the full AJ schmoozing, where he's like, it's almost like pickup lines that your eyes are beautiful, all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that they're building quite a strong alliance here. But then AJ's saying, oh no, I don't want to do Kate's move, which is to get out Jessie. He wants to do the Paulie vote.
Yeah. And I was a bit like, oh, so you're kind of forming a new bond here, but you're like not going to go with their move.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But
yeah.
AJ is also saying he's dumbfounded by how well marriage has gone for him. Which I am surprised. Like, you know, I guess like Polly not in an alliance, so they probably think, well, that is an easy first vote.
I know, it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, I'm like laughing at it, but then it's like, oh, well, actually, he's not really a name that's being brought up here. So it has gone well for him, really.
Do you know what bit I loved when Polly and Jessie were like miming to Myles and he was swimming?
I made a note of
doing
that.
like the thumbs up, and then Myles is just like giving him the thumbs up back, but he's shouting, I can't see what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and then Paulie's like, it's Paulie and Jessie giving you a thumbs up.
I did love that.
We were laughing at that as well. Oh, I loved it.
Oh yeah, and Polly, at this stage, he's just not aware then that he is on the bottom.
I know, he thinks
he's
it's
got
going
an alliance.
well.
Yeah, he thinks it's going well. He thinks like he's finally got an alliance, got the numbers. On the way to tribal, there's
Believe it.
injury.
Even the bloody torches are trying to take out Paulie at this stage.
Everything's against Paulie.
I know.
How has he survived so long with everything coming at him?
Oh, God.
I am surprised the producers didn't use that as his intro clip. Do you think it was just too late in the season, or do you think missed a trick not using that?
They did. Yeah. Probably too far into the season.
Well, I mean, we only had Myles' intro clip like last week.
True. Very true.
Although that was just a bit of a like peer through the bushes. The torch clunk, that is really...
That's quite recognisable. Yeah, exactly.
You'd be waiting for the torch clunk.
You'd at least be waiting for the wound on his head.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I was typing up my notes for the podcast. Such dedication while they were walking to Tribal. I didn't think I'd bloody missed anything. And then I look up and John was asking Paulie why he's got a bandage on his head. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? And then he was telling him and I was like, oh, they must not have caught that on camera. And then the next episode, it's like, oh, yeah, no, they did catch it on camera. Got the slow-mo replay, but I just missed it.
Full slow-mo. You can almost like see it like bruising his head as it goes down.
Yeah, you can see it make the wound on his head.
Oh, ouch.
That's awful.
I know, horrible.
After we were praising the health and safety of this season just one episode ago as well.
I know.
I didn't get Dr. Jono even.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Maybe he had a look at the wound after Tribal just to make sure he'd been
kept
patched
Paulie
up
behind,
properly.
you know, give him a little dab.
Yeah, even though, imagine Paulie the paramedic and then Dr. JLP teaming up to...
And Karen.
Oh, yeah.
She's a doctor.
I think is she a surgeon?
Yeah, she's a surgeon. Because I remember saying about standing
right?
for a long time. Yeah.
The superhero trio. That would be iconic. But yeah, Paulie has really been going through it. Like, I feel so bad for him at this point. Just kind of sat on the end of Tribal with the plaster on his head.
But he doesn't know. He thinks he's in an alliance in this Tribal.
True, but he still seems quite low.
But we know he's not in an alliance. So yeah, no, I did feel bad for him.
Sorry, just going back to the torch incident as well. Did you notice that? So it was Laura's torch that hit him on the head. And JLP said to Laura, I assume that was an accident. Yes. What are you implying,
Imagine
JLP?
if she said no. I was trying to take him out, actually.
Yeah.
If it had been Kaelin, there would have been questions.
Well,
Kaelin set the tone.
Yeah, obviously, Jono was not at the camp to see it or to patch it up because he rarely darkens the door of those camps.
It's got to be something really traumatic for him to venture over onto the beaches.
He's got a mobile phone in hand if he's turning up to the beach with a call from home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we get the votes in then.
I noted that there was a wee bit from Logan being like, it's not Friend Island.
Yeah, I liked that.
I've not got tons to say about the vote, really. Just in the end, Jesse's voted out. And we get the Paulie reaction as his name does come out the urn. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I do feel bad for him at this point. He obviously thought things were going quite well in the merge. He'd made some friends. He wasn't going to be on the bottom of this vote, or he is at least going to know what was happening in that vote, but no. Although what I will say is I'm quite pleased for Kate. She managed to get her blindside.
Woo!
Yeah. So that was fun. And we get that nice little clip of Jesse after in his kind of exit interview, and he's forgotten the name of the tribe. So,
which, fair play. I mean, I've forgotten the name of the tribe again. Do you remember it?
Melosi? Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on to episode 2. So we're back on the beach and it's following the elimination of Jesse.
Merging into episode 2.
And this is where we see Paulie really at rock bottom.
He is just west at this stage, and God, who could blame him? Like, he's had that really hard time on the Brawn's tribe for the last however many weeks, and then he's got to merge. Very pleased that he's made it to merge, thinking things are kind of picking up for him. He's got his wee alliance, he's got his numbers, and then he finds out, literally through his name coming out of the urn, that he's not in an alliance. I actually felt like really upset for him at this point, you know?
Because you can tell he'd just been iced out of everything. And that is just such a horrible, you're away from home. You're on a bloody desert island with no food, no comfort. The only comfort that you can take is from the people around you. And they've just iced you out.
I felt really sad for him. And then he's also saying like that it's quite hard for him to even try and form an alliance because it's really difficult to see who is aligned with who. He can spot that there's the pairs, which is kind of like a recurring theme through this episode. So he knows like what pairs there are, but he's not really sure who's working with who. I mean, fair play. It's very hard for the audience to even know that we're seeing everything. But that is a fair point. You know, how are you meant to form an alliance when you literally don't really even know who else is in?
Exactly. It's so tough. And it's very like, you know, in school almost where there's like two best friends. You never want to be that third wheel, do you? He's in a really difficult situation. Something that we picked up on is like, who's Kaylin's buddy? He doesn't really have one, does he? He was kind of edited out of that. Yeah, he is. He was kind of edited out of this episode quite a bit.
I mean, I don't know.
Because, but I mean, obviously Pauline notes that he's not really one that he can go to for an alliance because he's probably quite close to AJ and is getting the whole snake oil salesman.
Yeah, and we do see actually that he is close to AJ because in this like same like snippet we see Kaylin telling AJ about Logan's idol.
Yes, what did you think of this?
Well, I remember like last week we were discussing like which way Kaylin's loyalties would lie. We weren't sure if he was just trying to keep AJ on side as a and just keep him around as a shield, or like which alliance he prioritized between AJ and the girls. But I mean, well, it's AJ, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting. I remember we also talked about the fact that Logan told two people straight away and then she also told Laura.
Yes.
And we did question, was that too many people to tell? Because, yeah, that's out there now.
Yeah, because then Kaylin tells AJ, then AJ tells Myles, and then...
I loved that conversation, by the way. Did you? So, sorry.
My memory.
So I loved when AJ told Myles that Logan had an idol, and then Myles told AJ that he had an advantage that could steal an idol. And it was just like, ho, 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 something's gonna happen. AJ could not.
This way comes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Myles was like, do not make an expression, basically. But AJ could not control his eyebrows.
You can't not make an expression when you hear something like that.
Yeah.
Like you can be expecting someone to be like, oh yeah, I've got an idol. But to have an advantage that's never been seen in Australian Survivor before is just out of this world.
Yeah, you cannot hold that in.
You're not keeping you cool.
So yeah, I loved that chat because I just thought they're going to do something good with this advantage.
And I love to see that, you know, when you've got friends, one of them gets an advantage and the other one is just absolutely just so gleeful about it.
Yeah.
Not just for the prospect of keeping them safe, but more because they just think it'll be an absolute lull.
Yeah.
Like I remember it was the same with like Ferris and Raymond last season. And like that whole thing. Like I just love when someone's like giddy just for the sake of the gameplay that they they just know it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
I love seeing people come at it from like a angle of fun rather than a kind of place of desperation.
100%. We're all about those fun, like chaos making advantages and twists and things like that. Oh, loved it. I want to take a quick side note here because I've got two.
Sidey.
A sidey. Because it's related to AJ and Myles. Just two fashion shout outs. One, I love AJ's hat. You know this kind of like turned up bucket hat that he's rocking?
Well, he kind of looks like an old-timey fisherman.
Yeah. That was not in the early half of this season, I don't think.
I think that's been around for a while, hasn't it?
I think he's pulled it out over the past couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Did it belong to some... What? No, it wasn't. Was it... No, it wasn't Max's hat.
Oh, you know where Max's hat is. Don't you dare bring that up on this podcast.
No, did Max not get another hat from someone?
He was wearing Ali's hat. Oh, no, someone made him a hat. Oh. But they definitely didn't make that hat.
Okay, no. Unless they had a sewing machine or something. Well, I feel like in one season of the American one, they did get a sewing machine as a reward. Yeah, as a reward. It was like very early days.
I mean, where are they plugging in a sewing machine?
An extension cords all the way back from like
through the river.
John was condo.
Jono's electricity bill's going up. He's like,
Oh, it's obscene.
Today's challenge, you can win Jono's extension cord worth playing for. This will give you access to hair dryers, laptops, phone chargers.
which are all separate rewards.
You've got to earn each charger.
Yeah. And then you've got to earn the devices themselves.
Yeah.
But then, AJ could access his chat GPT that Karen keeps referencing, how to interact with someone.
Exactly. You could play a little game of online poker on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Pass the time.
Start pokering away his winnings before he's even won them.
You could be like messaging former contestants like a hotline, advice hotline. Okay, this is fun, right? You're on Survivor. You have a phone, a magic phone, okay? And it's an advice hotline. And you can only reach one former contestant. Who are you picking?
Golden
What's my
God.
situation?
Golden God.
You don't know the situation. You have to pick before you go on.
Golden God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Golden God.
Who would you pick, Will?
I think I'd probably pick the Golden God, Kirsty, actually, yeah.
Well,
I'm going King George. Actually,
no, he would give
you-
sorry, I take it back. I take it back.
he would give you like wild.
I know, I
Love
take
him, and
Give
the
you
plans.
advice for the lols. His lols.
Yeah, I've heard someone.
I would not be able to pull off any of his moves. So, sorry. I'm
What you
taking a
need
step
to
back.
do is you need to blackmail someone.
Declare war.
Declare war.
No, I'm taking it back. I'm going for the Shonster. Shonny.
Oh, good pick. Good pick, yeah.
Very good pick. Yeah. I'd probably pick Des.
Des!
A real outlier choice. No, I'd probably pick Dave as well.
Yeah, it was a solid choice.
Or Sandra. Queen Sandra.
Oh, I didn't even think about
you
US.
Sandra, yeah.
No, she was on
she was on
Australia.
Australian, wasn't she?
God, I forgot about that.
Sandra. I'm going to
Otherwise, I'd be going Boston Rob all the way.
Oh, yeah. Stop. I would go Boston Rob just to chat to him.
Yeah, just when the days get tough.
Yeah. Like, oh, how's it going? You still on Traitor?
Okay, so bringing it back to my second fashion shout out, Myles has got new glasses this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big fan. So he has like the pair that are quite big that are often like falling down his nose and he can do like the push up. But he's got a blue pair this episode, I mean.
I think, and this has just occurred to me, that because they look a bit more like plasticky. I think maybe he's been given that pair because he had to keep taking his glasses off in challenges because I think at one point he had like a nose injury from where he'd like bashed his glasses into his nose. So maybe he's been given another pair that he can actually wear in challenges. They're like, you can get those bendy ones.
A bit more durable.
Yeah, they look cool though.
Yeah, I like them. Right then, bringing it back. So the immunity challenge is the pull down. Yeah, pull down arms. You've got to stop the spool.
Yeah.
Spool.
Lots of ball-related challenges. First, it was the sticks and the poles. Now in the troughs, now we've got the balls.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we're watching, I am rooting for Paulie.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
thinking it's his challenge to win. He's buff.
He needs it.
He needs it more than anyone at this point.
And I feel like, do we even get other contestants saying, "Oh, this is Paulie's challenge"?
They're like, Kaylin's the
He's
only
got
one
a
that's going
back
to beat
like
him.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah, like a god, yeah.
And then, absolute shocker, Paulie's out second. And it's weird because it's not like he's fatigued. It just falls.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think this is something that we have heard about, but we don't see it that much. And it's like just general fatigue in terms of like concentration because they're that hungry, sleep deprived, all those sorts of things that, they can make little mistakes like that and it just really impacts them in the challenge, even if they're not physically fatigued.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what happened there. And obviously, no one told him that his spool was slipping.
Yeah, everyone else got your spool's slipping, look out. But no, because everyone hates Paulie. He's just allowed to let his fall.
My heart broke a little bit.
Yeah.
You could tell he was heartbroken as well, because he thought that was nailing the coffin, that's it.
Yeah.
Going home.
Yeah. So then we get this showdown between Kaylin and Kristen. Neither of them need immunity at this stage, so yeah, wasn't that exciting for me, I will say.
No.
Moving on to the scramble.
The scramble.
The scramble.
Scramble.
The scramble.
So the general consensus is vote Paulie out.
Yeah, and again, people are saying he's a liability to everyone. What does that mean? How is he a liability to everyone?
Did everyone just take him voting out Noonan really personally?
I think, but he was up, his back was against a wall.
Yeah.
What else could he do?
Really don't get
And
what
they'd
else
already
he could have done.
spoken about, they knew that was going to happen at some point.
They said that at the
Yeah.
tribal. They knew it was going to happen.
I don't know. I feel like someone's being poison in the ears of the rest of the tribe to, spread this rumor. I don't get it.
No.
From what we've seen, it doesn't add up.
Yeah. So then we do get some glimpses that Myles is a bit fed up of this. He feels bad for Paulie.
Mm-hmm.
He's ready to go to battle and do something a bit more interesting in this tribal, but no one else wants to join him. He says it's a simple vote, but everyone is just so paranoid. There's been a ton of different discussions. And then at the end of it, he's saying, all we're going to do is the same stupid vote on Paulie that we were going to do in the first place.
Yeah, so we're getting a nice bit of preamble to what comes later.
Might you say foreshadowing?
I might indeed. There's a couple of things I wanted to point out about the scramble. So firstly, it's more questions actually. Why do you think that Kaylin told AJ about Logan's idol? Do you think it was because, I should say, this is what I think it could be, that Kaylin realizes Logan is quite a big threat in the game, but doesn't want to do the dirty work of getting her out himself. So plants this information with AJ because he knows AJ is not going to stand for that. So potentially that's Kaylin kind of behind the scenes orchestrating.
It's also a
Something.
good thing for the
Yeah.
resume if he does make it to the final tribal.
Yeah.
Then Kaylin can go, I'm the one that told AJ about the idol.
It's a risky game because it's not a big move. If this is even the move, I'm just speculating.
Yeah.
It's very subtle. But yeah,
We don't see much from Kaylin. We just don't get much
no confessionals,
yeah, that's
really.
the word I'm looking for. We don't get much confessionals to tell us what he's thinking.
Yeah. I want to know, what is his strategy here?
I also don't think we got a single individual shot of him at tribal council, even though he won immunity.
We forgot he was there.
Yeah, it was-
We forgot he didn't have a buddy.
Yeah, nobody and no...
so did everyone else. He's just blending into the background, which could be amazing for his game.
Considering he keeps winning the
Yeah.
challenges, he's getting a very sparse edit.
He is, yeah. So we also get another moment in this scramble where we've got Laura approaching Myles saying actually she kind of wants to work with Paulie to potentially get out PD. So she says, leave it with me. I'm going to speak to the girls, as in Kate and Morgan, see if they're up for it. Then I'll speak to Logan and Kaz and see if they're up for it. Meanwhile, Myles is filling in AJ on the new plan and maybe Kaylin. But Laura gets a bit ahead of herself, tells Kate and Morgan. Kate and Morgan then run off and but they tell someone. And then when Laura is explaining or pitching the move to Logan and Kaz, and they're like, no, absolutely not. This is when Logan, says she has to put her foot down. She wants to make this move. And then Laura's like, I think I've cooked it, because she's already told Kate and Morgan that's
And they're
the
very
move.
on board.
They were very on board with it. But we just get a great confessional from her where she's like, whoops.
Yeah.
And I think as well, with Logan, she's not so much against the idea of voting for PJ. She doesn't want to keep him specifically in. She's just saying she's so fed up that no one's listening to her.
Yeah.
She really wants it to be her decision who goes home, so she can be the one that's like, yes, that was my decision. I decided that they went home. And, maybe she's plotting for that final tribal to have some things under her belt. But
I mean, you've got to have it at some point, definitely.
you've got to be instrumental in at least one vote.
Yeah.
But I mean, gosh, what a boring vote if Polly
Exactly,
I orchestrated Polly blindside when everyone wanted him gone.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's not really a blind side at that point, is it?
No, definitely not. So we then get Myles, like you said, he is ready for battle. He says this great line when they're off to tribal. He's like, all right, let's rumble. It's like, yes, Myles, let's rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble.
And rumble we did.
Smooth.
Thanks.
So, tribal. And what's a tribal?
I am still flying high from this tribal council.
Yeah, I loved it.
I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favourite tribals ever.
Oh, it was so dramatic.
It's definitely up there, yeah.
Yeah. So, where we have, the usual kind of conversation. Logan tells Jono that there's a pair situation. Jono's like, a what situation? So they fill him in on all the buddies. And then there's a wee chat with Polly about how he's not got a buddy. And again, it's actually very sad.
It is. I feel so bad for him in this point. He literally asks the entire tribe, is anyone my friend or is anyone my buddy here?
You can almost hear "Hello, darkness, my old friend" playing in the background.
I really wanted JLP to be like, I'm your friend.
He's not allowed to show the bias in such an outright manner. He's got to be subtle with
No matter how much he might
Subtle.
believe it.
subtle bias.
I bet he wished that he could say that though, because it was really heartbreaking. And they've sat him on the end. We've got all the buddies sat together.
Oh, the producer's done him dirty.
So
Sat him out.
dirty.
in the sentence.
You know what else? Sorry, I just thought of another note. Earlier, this was actually last episode, so don't know, but the producers did Paulie dirty with, there was a clip of him talking to Jesse. And when they do that really shady edit where they phase out the clip so that it looks like he's been rambling on and on and on.
Yeah.
That is so harsh, isn't it?
What
He was
end?
expressing his journey in this
Yeah, and also
competition.
to what end? Because it wasn't like we then got Jessie being like, "Oh, I was so bored," or do you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they've
very
just
odd.
been very shady towards him this whole
Very-
season. But
Very
anyway,
odd. I loved that Myles and Morgan had these really cute matching.
Yeah, they had the same little.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that hairstyle. That's so fun.
it was so fun. This was just such a fun tribal.
Yeah.
So we're getting whenever Paulie's speaking, we're getting little glimpses of Myles, and we're thinking, oh my God, is he gonna do it?
Yeah. And I feel like Polly made such a very strong play.
He did.
When he's like, I'm a number. And it's such a good point. He is a number. Why are they so keen just to get rid of him?
This is it. I feel like this is what happens sometimes when people play too personally and they get too invested in one player having to go or not being able to work with one player. It's I think you need to be a little bit more open and see people like what Paulie said as a number, and there will be certain people that picked up on that, as we saw kind of in the latest episode anyway.
Yeah, I really think some of the best Survivor players are the ones that can put all that personal bias aside and just work with anyone.
Yeah. I think it was interesting as well. You said how Myles was looking over at Paulie a lot. He wasn't particularly subtle. He was looking very smug a lot of that time. We could tell, obviously, that he was up to something. We have a bit of context, but still, I think even if you're in tribal council, you see that look and you're like, what is he up to something? Yeah. And I think one thing that a lot of people in that tribe have a problem with is the fact they all underestimate Myles.
Yeah.
They see him as a bit of a goofball, a bit of an idiot, I think, which obviously we know is not the case, but Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
underestimate the jungle rat to your peril, I think.
Exactly.
Agreed.
I think you're right. We obviously could sense that something was coming, but it's almost like they were looking at him like there's no way that he's going to be able to do anything
What's he
because
gonna do?
we're all dumping on Paulie. So, well,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe in the next episode we get a bit of that edit where we can maybe see what Myles is being like, where he is being more goofy and like fun, and potentially he's been like that the whole time, but we're just seeing this in the edit.
yeah, you might be right. So we get then Jono call to vote, but before he can finish his point to the voting booth,
Stop right now.
Hold on, Jono.
Myles has got something he wants to say. He's got a scroll,
A
which he
scroll.
would like to play.
We can confirm it is the scroll.
It is the scroll.
I am beside myself watching this. I'm so excited to
Yes.
see what's he going to do.
Oh, I just loved watching like Logan's face when he described what the advantage was,
Yeah.
and you could see the instant fear that her idol was going to get taken.
Yeah, if they didn't know she had an idol before, they
Her
definitely
face would have given it away. Yeah.
yeah.
So here's the question then. So he obviously reveals he can steal an idol. What do you think about the choice that he made to steal Kristen's and not Logan's?
Yeah, I think it was the sensible choice. A lot of people I've seen online are criticizing it. They're like, why didn't he steal Logan's idol, vote out Logan? Yes, that would have been awesome and really dramatic, but it also would have turned every single person on the tribe pretty much against him. Logan has a lot more friends. PD is an innocent person to vote out, where everyone goes, well, it's annoying that happened, but anyway, moving on. Whereas you've got a Logan, you've annoyed Laura, you've just
Yes.
the area of influence is much bigger as to who you're going to alienate, essentially.
Yeah, because Myles is kind of working with Laura, and also I think he maybe didn't realize that Logan was going to react like so badly to him pulling this move, so he maybe thought he would still kind of have the brains somewhat on side.
Yeah.
Was he even aware of that whole conversation that Logan had about how she was annoyed that she wasn't getting to make any of the voting decisions?
He was, because Laura told him, because they had a bit of a chat about it.
Yeah, and he was
Fair play then.
he was very unimpressed, was he not?
Yeah,
when Laura
he
came back
was
and
not.
Oh yeah, I think most people were impressed. It's like even when Kate and Morgan were hearing about it, they were like, "Oh, you sure you don't want to vote PD?"
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I also think in terms of him choosing Kristen's instead of Logan's, there was a couple of other elements that might have been at play. Firstly, it would destroy the trust with Kaylin and AJ, because obviously Kaylin told AJ, and then if it gets out that AJ told Myles, it's like, oh, then Kaylin maybe doesn't trust AJ. Also, they didn't have 100% confirmation that Logan has an idol. So there's that element of risk that she might be like, oh, it was like a fake idol, maybe. Or
Idol clue.
it could have been any kind of idol shenanigans.
Yeah.
Apparently, in US Survivor, because this advantage has come up in US Survivor before, there's a risk that people will pass their idol off to other people if they hear that someone's got that advantage.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's really something you need to keep quiet and play sooner rather than later. Otherwise, the information you have about idols could become stale very quickly.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
I think that comes back to what you were saying, Coop, about, or was it you, Will, saying it's an unprecedented advantage for Australian Survivor. So that really helps with it because no one saw that coming.
Yeah,
Exactly,
You
yeah.
don't expect it at that point.
Yeah. So then we're off to vote. So he takes Kristen's idol. Yep. Fine. Public
drama.
I mean, it's weird that she still had that anyway and it hadn't been flushed. So great.
I think the second he took Kristen's idol, everyone knew what was going to happen, really.
I like how he still said, I'm still doing the plan.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone at home knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Everyone at Tribal is still underestimating Myles and thinking, oh, he's just being a goofball, he's just stealing an idol. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Then we go off to vote. We come back. We've got the urn. JLP says, anyone wants to play an idol? And they really dragged it out for just that little bit too long where I was like, oh my God, is he actually going to?
Yeah.
Well,
He's
I
not-
think, Myles probably did actually drag it out.
For the drums.
John, not just for the drums, but to see if anyone else was going to play an idol. Because that might influence what he does.
Idol chicken. You never really think about that so much. You know, if someone plays an idol, then that determines if someone else plays one. It's like, who's going to be the first to play an idol?
Yeah, that's so true. Because, well, I guess they could have gone for Logan, but then Logan could have played her idol.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets up. He says something along the lines of, there's a sexy little snake at the end there, and I want myself a new body or something.
Yes.
I mean,
love it.
Love it. Perfect. Oh my God. I just loved everything about this.
I'm so here for the rat and the snake.
The rat and the
Same.
snake. Yeah, absolutely.
Jungle rat and sexy snake.
Love it.
Do you know as well what was really getting me when like Zara was like hissing down the line at people, who did those idiots vote for?
Yes.
I love how like
As the votes are coming out.
Who did those two idiots vote for?
They were all furious, apart from obviously AJ and Paulie.
AJ was just loving the crack. I just loved as well. Like Myles saying to AJ, "Oh, everyone's so mad at me," and AJ's just finding it so fun.
hilarious.
Even though he didn't really know that Myles was going to do that, did he?
Well, I think he did.
did he?
Or he had an inkling. Because, I mean, someone, maybe Laura, asked him as they were leaving. Try was like, did you know he was going to do that? I was like, maybe.
But I thought he was just saying that. I didn't think he actually did know.
I reckon they might have cooked it up together, or maybe it was Miles's move and he shared it with AJ to be like, do you think this is a good idea?
I can imagine they would have talked about it beforehand, at least those two. Because they are the buddies.
Yeah. Oh, it was just so much fun. And Paulie has been given a new lease of life.
Yeah.
I
could not love it
instantly
more.
refreshed.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
This is, I think this is my favourite move of the season so far. And it's up there with some of my all-time faves.
Yeah, same. I absolutely loved it. It was my favourite tribal definitely so far this season.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So fun.
So fun. And then another note I made was like when they're all standing up, gathering their torches and their things, Logan telling Laura that she needs that Laura needs to be better.
Oh, yeah.
Why went you across this?
Yeah.
If you're in work and your manager's like, right, Kirsty, you need to be better across.
Why have you not picked up on this? Oh, Laura.
Dropping actions. Drop the ball on this one, Laura. You should have been better across this situation. How the hell was Laura meant to predict that Myles had this advantage and
It's never been seen on Australia?
He was going to steal the title.
I just found it funny. Laura was like, yeah, I know, I should have been.
No, Laura, you did good.
Yeah. You did as much as you could have done.
Yeah. Okay, so then on to episode 3. We've got immediately the fallout from that epic tribal. We've got, who is it? Logan saying to Myles on their way back into camp, Myles, stop humming in my ear. I want to know what he was humming. He must have just been so chipper.
That's what Will and I were wondering. I was thinking, like, oh, imagine it was like the Survivor theme.
Oh my God, I would love that so much.
Or did you know the Strat Chat music?
Chat.
Jaunty jingle.
It could have been. We'll have to ask him.
It's such a hard, like the main theme, it's such a hard tune to hum.
Oh, I mean, you can't even really sing along to it. It's very like... I feel like if he was humming that, she missed a trick by not being like, Myles, stop humming the Survivor theme in my ear. Yeah.
That would have been so good.
Myles, stop humming the dramatic blindside music. How much would you pay for a CD of Survivor music? I say CD, like an album. I don't know why I'm saying CD is
Showing your age.
It is all available on YouTube.
Yeah, but
but like, if you want to listen in the car.
Yeah. But also on YouTube, it isn't like titled by what it is. For example, like track 2, Stratty Chatty.
No, it's not.
They've all got like names.
They do have names, yeah, which don't really give away what they are.
Yeah.
When you watch a movie and the themes have like funny names, like named after characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But imagine they had ones like
The JLP.
or it's like Polly's Lament.
Yeah.
Victory for Myles.
Oh my God, I would love that.
JLP jingle.
The Blindside Ballad. Oh my God, that would be so good.
The Redemption Rock Rag.
It should be rap. Oh my God. So yeah, we don't know what he was humming, but whatever it was very much irritating Logan.
And we really hope it was the Survivor theme.
We can only pray. So everyone pretty much, apart from AJ. Oh no, actually. Well, I mean, there's a lot of furious energy in the air after this tribal, except for with Myles and AJ, who are just
Buzzing.
having the time of their lives.
Rolling around in everyone's despair.
Like Myles and AJ are just finding it so hilarious, which I love because it's kind of like, yeah, it is a game, and they just did a really fun move. Yeah, like Myles is saying that he did it basically because he got sick of everyone's boring kumbaya.
But yeah, you know what I really feel like? I feel like these are the sorts of moves which are the reason why we love Survivor.
Yeah.
Like you would not watch it if it was just boring,
Everyone ganging up on one person.
Yeah.
Everyone ganging up on the same next person.
Season 1.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that started to really drag on, didn't it?
God love the editors for that, trying to make it look like something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so fun. Myles is saying he doesn't even care if he goes out now because he's just done the most fun
Yeah.
moves
He
ever.
says he knows he's probably torched his game, but it's 100% worth it for that reaction.
100%.
So worth it.
And then I also loved Kristen refusing to hug AJ. And he's like, well, I don't know what you think I've done.
They're all just, like Jono says later, he's guilty by association.
Yeah. And then you've got like Logan and AJ properly arguing, and then Myles is just stood there laughing.
Myles is having the time of his life in the start of this
Yeah, he's in his element.
And then Logan attempts to talk it out with Myles and wants to know like what his thought process was behind this. And also like, she's asking Myles, is he not worried he's like blowing up his alliance with Laura? Yeah. And Myles is just like, well, Laura's smart. So
Yeah. She's got a logical brain.
Oh my gosh, it was just, the whole thing was iconic. Like not only the tribal that we just had, but the entire aftermath of it was just phenomenal.
Like AJ shouting at him, you're the greatest. And then Myles tells him he's got another idol. And AJ's going, oh, you're really the greatest.
Oh my God, it was so good.
I think he said, we're going to be friends forever.
That really, they sealed the deal, that third idol.
Yeah.
They were maybe hovering around like post-game acquaintances before that, see each other at events, but now they'll be actively meeting up.
I love how like it was almost like code where Myles was like, that wasn't my second idol. Yes. And then AJ's like doing the maths really quickly. He's like, third?
poker player here. It's poker player doing the
So yeah, also after all of this kind of night after tribal stuff, we get the next morning and Paulie, he's a man reborn.
A new man, yeah.
He's got a new lease of life.
Unsurprisingly.
He's smiling. I love to see it. Absolutely loved it.
It was great. It's so nice to see him happy after being so depressed, basically, for so long.
And he declares to Myles, whatever Myles needs, he's got him.
Yeah.
Which I just love to see this budding alliance. It's perfect.
But then we get Myles like, oh, well, unfortunately, I don't see him as part of my longer plan. What?
Yeah.
So short-lived.
Such a beautiful, not even reunion, just union.
I know.
But then he kind of said, I'll cut him off if I need to.
If I need to,
Yeah.
He's kind of mad to do it right now. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's maybe just talking a big game at this
I hope
point.
so.
Maybe,
Because,
yeah.
like, what?
Because Paulie describes Myles as the Jack. No, sorry, the rose to his Jack.
Or is it the
other
Jack
way
to his
around?
Rose?
Either way.
Either way.
They're a beautiful love story.
Romeo to his Juliet.
Yeah.
Yes. The start of a beautiful friendship.
Exactly. An alliance made in heaven.
Yeah, and then we see them work well together, don't we, on the reward challenge?
Yeah, so reward challenge, we've got this almost like the buddy system is carried over into the reward challenge because they're paired off, they're leashed together. Some kind of big court with a net, and they need to swim to the opposite side, attached to their buddy, get the ball, throw it in. First to 4 or something wins, I think it was. What was the reward again? Oh, the American Feast.
The American Feast. Oh my God, Jono said that so many times, didn't he? The American Feast.
How was it not sponsored?
I was so sure it was going to be sponsored by TGI because they had that like red and white stripy straw.
Yeah, and it was an exact TGI meal.
Yeah,
Do they have TGI in Australia, actually?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Listeners, let us know. Yeah, so at the reward then, we have AJ asking, does anyone want to chat about a plan?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So the reward feast. Also, just side note, did you notice that we haven't had the merge feast this season?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they just didn't get it.
Yeah, because we've had like a lot of reward feasts.
They got the merge cocktail party.
Oh yeah, but not all of
Of
them.
the tribe.
Yeah, but usually they get that big feast. And
Yeah, they all get to sit around eating, making friends, meeting new people.
not
People
this
go
season.
wild sometimes and start telling everyone.
Yeah. But no, so this one we get the American Feast. We've got AJ, we've got Myles, Paulie, then we've got Kristen, Kaz, and Kate, I think it was. And then, yeah, like you said, AJ just out of nowhere is like, does anyone want to talk about what we're going to do tomorrow?
And Myles
I
is
was
like,
like, no.
yeah, no, not really. And everyone's like, why not? And he's having to say, well.
But he comes around very quickly because in like the next split second, he's divulging.
Logan's
got an idol.
Yeah, he's telling everyone Logan's got an idol. And then we get this brilliant bit where Myles tells us that, like, AJ is basically his janitor.
Yeah.
At this point, that he's making a mess and AJ is running around cleaning it up.
Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah,
I love
that.
those two together.
Yeah,
It's
it's
such
a
a
great
fun
dynamic.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a fun dynamic because I think both of them just love the game and neither of them is really getting annoyed about the other doing like these
Yeah.
ridiculous, chaotic moves.
It's just all about the fun.
Yeah, because we never really had any kind of fallout from Myles against AJ, RE, the hostage plan, because Myles could have very easily gone home during that.
Yeah.
They've just kind of been like, well, that's funny.
Hostage.
Like, move on.
Yeah.
What chaos can we do next?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great fun. Like we said, Myles tells everyone that Logan has an idol. Do we think this was a good move?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I do because like Logan, we find out Logan's not very popular anyway. Apparently she's kind of like riling people up the wrong way. And then the fact that she's got this idol kind of just further cements it because then we hear that like Zara is giddy at the idea of like voting Logan out with an idol.
Well, they've got a fraught history anyway, don't they? So she didn't need much excuse to jump on it.
Well,
But yeah, for the rest of the tribe, it was definitely, I think, a good move to put a target on her back in that way. Because, nobody wants to play with someone that's got an idol.
yeah, and Myles is already just so sure that Logan is just not going to work with him again at this point anyway. It's not like, if it gets back to her, like it's not like, he's ruined their alliance because they've not really got one because he was humming the Survivor song in her ear and he was like,
I don't think, there's no coming back from that really, I don't think.
no.
Makes sense, I think.
And then back at camp, we do get then Logan kind of trying to rally the troops, right?
Yeah, so she's trying to rally them on AJ.
Yeah.
she's had it with him now. He has to go.
This is her burning him to the ground. The promise burn to the ground move.
But at the same time, actually, we should have said prior to this, we get a little bit of a chat between Myles and AJ where they both have decided that going forward with the Graduate Alliance is their best way forward. They brought Kaylin in on this, and they have approached Kaz and Zara about this too. Zara is very much on board because she just wants to get out Logan, I think. Kaz, on the other hand, is going to take a bit more persuading. So we see AJ talking to her. She's saying that, yes, she's into it to his face, but on her confessional, she's saying, I'm going to tell him that to his face, but actually class is dismissed, or some other great analogy she says.
Yeah, she's a professor.
So we've had that kind of build up beforehand before this. So in that kind of scene where the others are away at the American feast, we've got the, I guess, Survivor feast happening back on the beach. Already a feast. See that
like pot of whatever they were making.
What was it? It was like
coconut or something.
Oh, it looked wretched.
Not look nice.
No. But Logan is pitching the AJ vote.
Yeah, and she's saying that he's just annoying her at this point.
Yeah.
She says something, I don't think those two have got any more stupid, chaotic moves they're going to do, but they're annoying me and I want them out.
Yeah.
Let's all just she know that Myles does have a night. Also, you could do another stupid, chaotic move.
They're plotting away at the American feast.
Yeah.
But then we get a sort of a shot between Zara and Caleb. They're like washing a pot or something.
Yeah.
They're talking very like much in code about, they want to get out AJ, but obviously we're not going to do that.
Yeah, obviously we're not going to do that.
So we know that they're in on the Graduates plan. Laura, however, is cottoning on to something.
Yes,
she's maybe picking up some senses from that chat. It must be so hard to know how to make a stratty conversation look like you're just chatting about I really back home do this or whatever. Yeah.
Even if you go away into the jungle to do it, people are still people are then where are they gone?
Exactly. This is why we've heard this from some of the iconic players in the past where they'll get up in the middle of the night for these strat chats just so that they can talk freely. Yeah. Because, that conversation looked sus, and Laura, sus as a donkey, was on it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I just love when you get those dead of night scenes,
Same.
conversations, or when Dave was hacking away, making his own
Yeah. And we also got that when Jericho was up to no good with that cookie jar, him and Luke. I just love those nighttime shots. Yeah. That's when all the mischief happens.
The nighttime shenanigans.
Yeah.
They look like they're high just because their eyes are glowing from the night vision.
Yeah.
They're just high on Survivor trickery.
Yeah. Shenanigans.
So we move on then to the immunity challenge, and it's this horrendous underwater cage.
Oh, I think this is my worst Survivor challenge in terms of just one I know I could never do.
No.
This one seemed just so bad as well, even worse than the other ones. I think we saw more that it just looked like they couldn't breathe.
Yeah,
the surge.
That surge.
That surge, yeah. Jono loved his surge, didn't he?
Oh, he kept going on about that. And he was like, this surge is going to sort people out.
Yeah.
Why did he say that? It's very menacing of Jono, wasn't it?
Wow.
Very, very menacing. Do you know what they call someone that does this challenge?
Bob.
What was he? How have you got the... Oh my God. I mean...
It's commentary then. When Myles is doing a bit of commentary telling us everyone's got different techniques, which how can he see that? Surely he can't see what everyone else is doing. He's like, Myles is doing this snorkel technique. And JLP's like, oh, you're doing my job for me?
What I'm wondering as well is how much can they actually hear?
Wow.
Because you know how they're saying sensory deprivation, the ears have gone under. Can they hear JLP saying
At first, I think they can.
Yeah.
Because then I remember at one point, Polly's like, is anyone else's ears gone?
Yeah.
But then you get to the end of the challenge and it happens every time someone wins and everyone has to go over to them and grab them and be like, you can stop now.
Yes, and JLP at one point was like, they don't know how many people are left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like after you stop hearing things, like you maybe know who's gone before that, but then you have no idea if there's like 5 of you.
That's it. It makes the psychological aspect of this challenge even harder because you're there basically in a weird underwater bubble. All you can hear is underwater sound.
It's awful.
Yeah,
it's really awful.
Really
Who's come up with this? It's terrifying.
I mean,
torture.
a lot of the Survivor challenges are torture-esque, aren't they?
Yeah.
Almost there with a crank of some kind.
Jono with the crank and the wheel of doom.
Yeah.
Jono like cranking those cages further into the wall.
He loves it. I reckon he requests that for Final Tribal, for Final Unities now. He's just like, give me a crank.
Yeah, JLP's got like a secret button for the surge. Make it surge.
If he thinks it's taking too long.
Yeah,
Double surge.
It matters into his own hands.
Well, he was hanging around for quite a while on this
Over an
challenge.
hour.
It's
like an hour 40. Yeah, something like that. I don't know how. I don't know how people do it, honestly.
And then he's like, the surges are only going to get worse.
Yeah.
He was using psychological warfare to try and get them to drop out. So he didn't have to stand there so long in his pontoon.
His pontoon, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so threatening. If you think this is easy, it's just going to get worse.
It's going to just get more and more claustrophobic. Sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's weird, right? Because he's supportive sometimes.
Yeah.
Also kind of not. Do you know what
He does the same thing with every challenge, though. It's just worse on this one, but he's always like, oh, those back muscles will be starting to ache now.
Yeah, true.
You know, you'll be feeling it in their arms and their legs. It's just like trying to really draw attention to everyone.
Yeah,
this is what you're feeling right now.
Yeah, maybe he is just doing it for the viewer because, like, not this one. Like, this one looks horrible. But do you know, some of them, you're like, that doesn't look that bad.
Yes.
But then when he hams it up, you're like, maybe.
They're just standing on a pole.
Yeah.
I could do
And
that.
John's like, they are struggling. They don't know if they've got anything left.
Those calf muscles starting to burn.
The sun blazing down.
Wind start to pick up.
Sweat dripping off their brow. George looks like he's about to keel over.
Yeah, he's even saying things like, oh, I don't know when they're going to get their next breath. It's like, God, that was it.
This breath could be their last.
It was like that. You don't know when you're going to get another one.
And then I was getting quite panicked at one point because Kate was like, she's been under too long. She's been under. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, horrifying. But sorry, go on.
I was wondering if Karen was so good at it because of the doctor element, like, you know, in the breathing techniques or something, maybe. And like,
maybe. Or just staying very calm under pressure. Because if you're in surge or whatever it is. In the surge.
Yeah. Well, this is actually why
you're surging.
Yeah. This is why Kalen was my pick to win that, because he's just so calm all the time. And I think that is the biggest thing in that challenge is you need the technique, but most of the time that's the snorkel technique, which seems to pay off for people.
Yeah.
But even then, you need to stay calm when the water occasionally washes over and you lose that breath for a second, and you have to stay calm enough to hold the breath and then...
Yeah.
Otherwise, because that's what would get me is just the psychological side of it. Yeah. Because I'm not good in like feeling like I might drown.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
You know.
Oh, God, yeah. Horrifying challenge. But we get Myles, Kaz, and Kaylin, the top 3. I thought Myles might do it at one point. But yeah, Kaylin takes the win again on that one.
Yeah, so that's 2 wins in a row for him. But we haven't heard any kind of whisperings yet of people being like, we need to get him out.
Yeah,
He's a challenge.
through
I think that'll come. Maybe
it's got to,
must.
surely.
I think he needs to maybe not win next time.
Yeah, he should.
If I was him, I would be avoiding winning.
I would.
The next one, I would throw the next challenge for sure.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
You do not want that challenge beast target on your back.
No, you don't want to be that one where it's like, oh, next time when they finally lose a challenge, we'll get them out because we might not get another shot to get them out.
Exactly.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Need to be humble. Eat some humble pie.
Yeah, do a little throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a JLP very complimentary of Karen's efforts under the water, and she doesn't really. She's just like, oh, I just wish I beat Kate.
Yeah, she's like, not impressed, John.
Yeah.
He's like, is that like your superpower? And she's like, what, breathing underwater?
She's not impressed.
No.
Maybe it's like lack of oxygen or something.
Not got time for the banter.
No, not having any of it.
He's going to take some deep breaths.
Yeah. Well, at least she knows when she can get another breath again.
Yeah. So we're back then to the beach for the scramble. So we've got Myles again already alluding to the fact that he's wanting to cause more mischief.
Yeah, he wants this Logan Laura split, really. Mm-hmm. He's saying that we can all have a fun, dramatic time and then Logan can go home with an idol. Which means he's giving us so many fun confessionals, isn't he?
You know what? When you can see that someone's having fun playing, it just makes it so fun to watch.
Yeah.
And he's a joy to watch in these past few episodes.
Yeah, he's such a wordsmith as well. And just giving, he's just so funny with it.
What's he saying at one point about like...
He's talking to Laura and he's like kind of telling her like this false plan and Laura's completely believing him. And then he says that he's like feeding Laura a whole lot of nonsense. And he's like, though I am close with Laura, I'm happy to take that trust and destroy it.
Yes. No questions asked.
Right, yeah. I just love it.
So in terms of the scramble then, we've obviously got AJ and Myles and Paulie by association to Myles that are going for the Logan Laura split.
Yeah.
But they then also try to reel in Kate and Morgan.
Yeah.
Which I am so here for.
Yeah. And they're keen because the other plan is Logan's plan to get AJ out, and they don't want AJ out.
They don't.
Because of the schmoozing.
Exactly, the schmoozing work.
The schmoozing's up.
But they know that Kristen, for some reason, Kristen and AJ are like sworn enemies. Well, from Kristen's point of view.
Yeah,
she really wants AJ out.
Oh, I guess because they had all that time on the Brawn's tribe together, didn't they?
I think it was the vault that really wound her up.
The vault, yeah.
She did not like the vault.
No. So we then get this really like awkward interaction where we've got Kate, Morgan, and AJ.
We've got Kate, Morgan, and Kristen first. No. Yes, Kate Morgan, and Kristen. Kristen comes over and is wondering who they're voting for. And they, God, I've lost their run of it. What even were they telling her they were going to do? They told her about she goes over to them. Kristen comes over to Kate and Morgan and tells them that she's heard it's AJ and she's happy with that.
She wants AJ.
So, like because Kate's like, oh, you're happy with that?
Yeah.
And then they're trying not to give much away to her about the Logan plan because they don't know if she knows that. But then AJ comes over and he mentions the Logan plan.
It's so uncomfortable.
And Morgan gets the hell out of there. Like,
Morgan just cracked a coconut.
She just cracked a coconut. There must be like context that when you crack it, you have to take it away and put the coconut water somewhere. There must be context.
Yeah, but where did they put that coconut water?
In that pot.
But yeah,
cooking, maybe.
That wretched pot.
That wretched pot.
Cocoa pot. Kate's just left that.
Kate's just left there with her.
Cheers.
And AJ, and then AJ's like asking, "Are you all okay with that plan?" And then Kate's just being very vague, like, "Oh, I just need to see what everyone else is."
Yes, exactly. Luckily, she gets to explain it to AJ later.
Yes,
so we know now that Kate and Morgan are definitely on side with, we think, with AJ.
So far, anyway.
We don't know where Kristen lies still at this point because she's gunning for AJ, but is it enough? So we get some confessionals from Kaz, who's kind of across both alliances at this point. She knows what the girls want to do, as in Logan wants AJ out, but she also knows what the graduates want to do, which is get Logan and split on Laura.
She's like AJ and Myles. She's got all the information on the beach.
And she actually does have all the information, which is great.
Yeah,
she decides that this could be a really good opportunity to flush Logan's idol.
Yes.
But keep her in the game.
Yes. And AJ, she's happy for AJ to go home.
Yeah. She
She's not getting her. I don't think she plans to get her hands dirty, but she knows that Logan and Laura are planning to vote for AJ, and she's then thinking if Logan plays her idol, flushes that, she seems to think that there will be more AJ votes than Laura votes.
Yeah, maybe that is it. But then,
or maybe she is going to swing. She's thinking she could swing. She says like going into merge, she can kind of pick which way it goes.
Yes. So she basically needs to decide, does she want to stay with the Graduate Alliance or does she want to go with whatever that other alliance is called? I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's the swingy.
She's the swingy wingy. I love when she's like, yeah, so lot to think about.
Yeah, because one of her concerns is that Zara's going to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's a very valid concern.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's actually a viable option.
It comes up so much. Like these people have a buddy, but they are scared to make a move in case their buddy gets really mad at them. But then you've got AJ and Myles who are like the dream buddies. Like, and AJ's basically, you know, like that relaxed parent. Like he can go do what he wants as long as he's home. He can play whatever advantage he wants as long as he doesn't vote out someone in our alliance. It's fine. It's a mind.
Yeah, exactly. I love that dynamic.
He's happy for them. Like he's happy for Myles to go rogue.
Yeah. So yeah, we get Kaz obviously plotting this big move.
And we don't know if she's going to go ahead of it or not.
So this is the suspense, isn't it? Going into tribal. Quite a clever move, like in theory, but obviously we don't know what she's going to do. So into tribal council then, we have a bit of chitter-chatter and kind of quite early on, we get Kaz telling Logan to play your idol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we should comment, another iconic tribal look from Myles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely iconic.
The like ponytail and the way he was wearing the buff. Absolutely loved.
So fun. Again, he's just going for the fun factor. We're here for it.
I think, right, Karen was kind of lucky Logan did play her idol because the way she told her to do it, it was very subtle, which I get, but she also didn't, I think, want to throw anyone else under the bus and cause a ruckus.
She didn't expand on it, did she?
Yeah, but then it kind of made Logan really, they didn't have that solid enough of a relationship. It was making Logan question, well, who's voting for me? Like, are you just trying to trick me into playing my idol?
Yeah, because an idol flush is like something that could have very definitely been on the cards.
Yeah, but then like Laura's like asking everyone, and instead of just like lying and saying like what the fake plan or whatever the fake plan is, everyone's just like ignoring her and like turning away. Like Zara's like pretending that she can't like tell what she's
Did
what?
who actually, in terms of Logan's mind, knew that she had an idol?
Kaylin,
Kaz, and Laura.
So Kaz did know. Because I think it would have been interesting if, like, until that moment, she hadn't known.
Oh,
Kaz
yeah,
even
true.
knew she had an idol.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was there. So yeah, there's a lot of panic. There's a lot of whispering. We kind of get the sense as well that maybe Myles and AJ are picking up on some of this. There's also another point where I was concerned that the vote was going to go on to either AJ or Myles, because you know when you get someone that keeps talking to camera and they're like, I'm in control of this tribe, I'm not worried about this.
In fact, I think we had Myles saying that he is living his best survivor life.
Yeah.
Survivor dream or something.
I was getting so panicked at this point, thinking,
he's won.
That's the kiss of death.
It's normally a bad sign when you're getting professionals like that.
But he actually is.
Yeah.
He's living his best survivor
life. Love it.
So we get the vote then. Logan decides she is going to play her idol.
A very long speech. She's searching around in a bag for like 5 minutes for that idol. And I was really hoping she'd forgotten it back at camp.
Hanging on a tree.
Yeah. It just cuts back to a shot of it swinging there in the dark.
Oh my God.
Imagine. But no, she does play the idol. She plays it for herself. I think Laura kind of picked up on a few vibes that people were going to be voting for her.
Oh,
but what she didn't realise is that she was the split vote.
Yeah.
This was pretty heartbreaking, actually.
I did feel bad for Laura here, yeah.
I wanted Laura to stay in because I thought she was an interesting character and I wanted to see more of her working with Myles.
Oh, yeah.
But it was not meant to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, Laura's out. She tells us in the exit interview, well, I don't know what you call it actually, post
Exit interview, yeah.
Exit interview.
Yeah.
That she believes they have made a grave error.
Oh, yeah.
And they are going to feel the wrath of Logan.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
However it turns out.
she's going to hit the roof next week.
We thought she hit the roof this time.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see how she's going to break through the roof this time.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
yeah.
God. I think then, like, we obviously saw the wee preview and we had Karen saying about how angry Logan gets. I wonder if everyone's kind of mad at Karen because they've cottoned on to the fact that she told her to play the idol. So she's maybe just going to try and do an AJ, get the other person so riled up that everyone votes for them instead. Remember when AJ was going to go and he was like winding Rich up to make him the target? I wonder if Karen's going to do that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she regrets that move or not.
Well, yeah, because like AJ's still there.
Yeah, if AJ was the target, that obviously backfired, and now she's got one less alliance member.
Yeah, I wonder if even Karen was like underestimating quite how many people were voting Logan.
Maybe.
Because like in another world, it was kind of uncertain as to who was going to be going. And she was just like, she said it in her confessional, like she just figures it's a good opportunity to try and flush the idol. Not realizing that literally everyone is voting for Logan, and the only people who aren't are voting for Laura as the split.
Yeah.
Including her number one alliance. No, I was going to say Zara, because her and Zara are a buddy. They're each other's number one alliance, and Zara really wanted Logan out. So now Kaz has gone against that.
Well, she has. But she voted Logan as well, didn't she? She didn't swing her vote.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I think if she'd swung her vote, it would have taken it to a draw.
She's really going to play that I didn't say anything, it wasn't me.
Yeah, I think so, because the numbers.
I wonder if they'll try and play it off that it was Laura that told her.
Yeah, well, if she's smart.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Anything else from this week?
No, and we'll not play our merge game because we've made it to merge.
We've made it to merge.
Merge game.
We're now post-merge and into jury.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. So, actually, Laura has gone on to the jury.
She has. Yeah, first member of the jury. And as Logan was very specific to point out that person can poison the pond.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that happens.
I can't wait to see what happens next. Well, we will be back next week with more Australian Survivor chat. Hopefully we'll see you there. If you've enjoyed this episode, then you can like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. We're at Make It to Merge on Twitter, and we will be releasing new episodes every week.
If you want to email us, makeittomerge@gmail.com. You're pretty much guaranteed to be featured on the next episode because I can't imagine we're going to be getting many emails. Please don't send us hate emails.